Welcome to FAQ Friday, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. We've got a great lineup as usual. We have JB back for if anybody tuned into last time around, they got a little bit of a sneak preview, but now we have like a full reveal party. So this is going to be a good time. Got the roofing reveal. Let's start off with the install of the week. We just pulled this one fresh. That's a nice, clean 16.8 kilodubs down in Texas. And that is another pretty decent timeline. And Brandon, I think we can, if you wanted to
Yeah,
talk to this one on the
yeah,
timeline
a
there.
little insight, guys. So what we're seeing here is 19 days from accepted to installed. However, we could have got this done in 16 days. What I mean by that is the homeowner had asked for a little bit more of a grace period so they could be home for that install. So, guys, we're really kicking butt out there on timelines. We want you to see that. Proof is in the pudding. We're going to post this on Instagram. And for anybody out there that has any doubt, we do have what I love your replies, Danny, is we got receipts.
I got
Right.
the receipts, man.
We follow the process. We're not cheating the system. We're just more dialed in now than ever. And we're going to always continue to improve.
Yep.
And I think the good thing about this photo is this is corrugated. Well, let's talk about this. Is it standing seam metal, JB? My roofing pro?
Reveal
That
your
is
wisdom.
that is hexagonal corrugated
Hexagon.
metal.
Hexagonal. They see?
Not to be confused with trapezoidal.
Ooh.
I'm just kidding. They're
Oh.
the same thing. Tomato, tomato, metal trapezoidal. It's a corrugated roof.
I was about to have to bust out my old geometry notebook. Wait a minute.
Me
Isn't
too.
isn't a hexagon a trapezoid? Come on.
Now that's great
That's
inside. I love this install. Very clean, black on black panels, low profile install, and accepted, installed. Will pass permitting, get PTO here very soon. So yeah, just thanks to the team that trusted in us for this install.
keep them coming down to Texas. Got some big boys down there, so and we get them up fast. So that is always great to see. All right, here's our agenda here. Just a little bit of roundup before we get into the big show. We had the top solar contractor list revealed this week. We got some contest results. It's not really a contest. We're giving these prizes away. So we got the results so far. A couple updates on Concierge, GoodLeap, some other housekeeping things, and then we're going to get to the grand reveal, like I said. So we're 5 times over top solar contractors. This is exciting. When I first came on was the first year that we started back in 2020 when we started kind of tracking this and actually submitting it for these national rankings. And we've jumped around a little bit. We've always been pretty consistently in the top 20, if not top 10, I think, top 15 or top 10 even for Resi in the whole country. So it's great to see that we're still right there, cream of the crop nationwide. We are 126 overall. I'm not too worried about overall. That includes the utility scale. That includes your CNI. Those are the monster installs where they're talking, megawatts on megawatts of farmland, that they pay for. That's fine. Not too worried about it. We're number 3 in California. We're number 5 in Texas. We are the number 3 residential battery storage installer in the whole country. So that's another one feather in the cap. I thought that was pretty cool. So
Yeah, I think that comes with us knowing what NEM3 was going to translate to and making sure that, ensuring that our partners were on the same page, like include this battery, minimum of 5P, right? Or above, right? So by us starting sooner, this really helped in the battery storage category. So we know what we're doing too. Connecting those batteries is key. And yeah, we got, just so we know, Tesla and Enphase available with the SP.
absolutely. But as they say, we're not going to rest.
No,
We're number 1.
that's right, man.
Okay. That here's our big beautiful blip. Again, contest is kind of a misnomer here. This is just giveaways, really. We're just want to get everybody equipped with some awesome prizes that are actually, we think, useful. I think that's always an important part of these. Hey, we're not going to give you a vacuum. We're not going to give you a, whatever. These are all pretty cool. They got their own purposes there. So we have 11 reps so far who are getting their choice between some new Meta Ray-Bans, a nice e-bike, or an iPad. There's many more, obviously, who are right on the cusp of that. Got another 5 reps who have already got their choice between the DJI Mini drone, which JB, I know you're a big fan of the drone work there. That's your thing.
Love the DJI Mini.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the Meepo e-board, that's another fun one, or the one-wheel pipe, just a cute little guy. And then we have one rep who has absolutely crushed it so far this month and is already at the maximum earnings there. We're gonna send him on a trip, give him a nice MacBook, or give him the big boy one wheel. So yeah, don't settle. Keep after it, guys.
Yeah. I think one of the things that DJI Mini, right? That the one cool thing about this is it pays for itself over and over. It's not only free, but you can use it to gain even more referrals, build out a more like marketing opportunity for your company. Like this, I've seen those flybys. They're awesome.
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, it makes you so much more of a professional in the eyes of the homeowner when you're there.
It's a lot of fun standing right next to the homeowner and just doing that flyer with them, right? It's so cool, man. I don't know. There's a lot of things you can do here. Yeah, I would say for those on this call and everybody under our umbrella, there's a lot of changes that can transpire and in such that we're always in motion, right? And if there's changes in ops and the platforms or contact points, like we got to update you guys. So how do we update you? It's on a per project basis. We want to get you into QuickBase, looking at that job, which you can see here. We're in a job phase. And right here, actually, let me turn on annotation and scroll this bad boy here. So I know I got a lot of arrows going on, but your concierge should be labeled here. You can contact them with a phone number or email. So anybody out there saying, hey, I'm having troubles getting in contact, it's only because maybe there was a different source attached, right? So not to make things complicated, we want to keep it simplified. Utilize the job concierge email. Tag me if you'd like. My email is brandonbarton@joinesp.com. Tag them with the concierge. We're going to make sure that your communication efforts don't go unnoticed, right? We want to make sure that we're responding like we always are and have been, and we want to stick to that. So hop into the job. I encourage you, grab that email, use it.
Oh, and while we're at it, please use the Q&A like Jim just did. How do you get to this page?
I love that. Yeah. So first step is to log into QuickBase. You're going to click on the jobs, which I can do here. So when you log into QuickBase, it says App Home. You're going to click right here on Jobs. And as soon as you go to Jobs, you can tell this is right at the top. That job, there's an eyeball and a name, right? So that homeowner name will be presented here, and that identifies the concierge. So I hope that helps. And if you're still lost, I offer trainings, and you could email me just at, like I said, at brandonbarton@joinesp.com. Ask me how. Be happy to go in there. We also have YouTube training videos that also share that experience and how to see like certain things.
Yep. And Daniel, to answer your question here, how do you ensure you have the right phone number? Using this, it should always be up to date. If you hop in, if you have any questions about, hey, am I talking to the right pod? Do I have the right, group on here? Double check this. If you're still having issues with that response on there, chat in and see or give us a call to the general support line. We'll make sure there isn't anything going on. I mean, occasionally we have people who go out of town, obviously, but we'll make sure we get you in touch with the right people and that you're talking to them as needed there on the fly. So great question. Thanks for asking. Updated Aurora AVL. I know we talked about this last time. We got another new update for you guys. So we'll send this out again, but this is just your quick, handy reference. Again, Aurora is working on making this just like an automatic selection, so you don't even really have to look at this, but this is just going to be your best way to quickly refer and say, okay, if I'm using the 430s with Enfin right here, it's going to be that automatically integrated AC mod. You don't even have to choose that. It should populate, and then you can connect that to the Powerwall 3s. That's going to be the exclusive usage of the 430s there. Until Lightreach came along and added that into their AVL there. Hey, look at that. So that's another cool one there.
I'd like to elaborate too. Those 430s, when coupled with Tesla, is no additional adder. ESP is going to take that on. We know that this is complex, and we're not trying to make it complex by any means, but with DomCon or lender AVLs, which for anybody out there, when we say AVL, that's the approved vendor list. And not every lender is the same. They all have different metrics. So Aurora is doing their best to, make the process easier with their drop downs. And so when you do the drop downs within Aurora on the designs, it's still quote broken, right? So this is why we're giving you this cheat sheet, and it's on the newsletter too, correct, Danny?
Correct. Yep.
And so guys, share with your team if you ever get stuck. So if you're trying to send docs and send for signatures on the agreement, if you get an error code in Aurora, probably because the pairing metrics of equipment and the inverter, panel, and battery are not matching correctly per lender. So this is where that cheat sheet comes into play. Yeah, just notate this. Very important.
Yep. We had 3 people ask the same question back to back. How come no Powerwall 3s with cash or loan?
Yeah, that's a great question. So what it is in regards to safe harboring, right? So our PPA opportunities have safe harbor available for Tesla, whereas with cash and loans, we're not quite there yet. So what does that mean? I can't offer it for cash and loans, not at the price that you're seeing for Teslas at our amazing, what is it, 11.5 on our adder sheet. So
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, that's the shortest way to put it is the TPO. The TPOs have reserved them, so we are reserving them for the TPOs, if that makes sense. There isn't really like an excess, a stockpile. As we progress towards the end of the year, that may change. One other thing to keep in mind though too is if you're looking for if people are interested in the batteries for their solar system, batteries still are going to get that ITC benefit for several years to come. So there isn't as much of a clock to be looking at for that particular incentive, that aspect of it. So keep it.
And I do know that there's since you're talking about it, I'll just do one more elaboration. Guys, if you're doing cash purchases, as long as this install happens before the end of the year, the homeowner is safe. It's not PTO based, it's install based. And our contracts are going to finalize October 31. So that is the urgency play there for cash purchases at 30%.
And speaking of that, just to kind of reiterate here, moving into the GoodLeap loans, they just announced this here. They're changing how they are offering loans. Again, not a huge thing that people are offering right now, but if you want it, it is there, and they are changing they're discontinuing, they're sunsetting the 25-year loan options, focusing on 20 years, reducing dealer fees on the 20 years. They bumped the FICO score just a little bit on those 680 up from 650. And here's some kind of talking points to work through that is when you have a shorter term, that means there's less interest paid. You're going to save thousands of dollars in total interest. The payments aren't going to really move a ton by shortening that frame to maybe 15 on average. And the other thing too is a lot of people, if you're making loan payments, there are a lot of people who just want to accelerate those, and you can pay ahead and pay it off even sooner, saving more interest. So that's always nice. You get the full ownership and payoff sooner because of that. And again, as we are nearing that ITC deadline, it's just a better option, not drawing it all the way out. And in order, as Brandon just said, in order to qualify for the 30% tax credit, they must be installed by December 31st. Maybe some, language out there. You may have heard homeowners, we certainly have, saying like, I need this activated by December 31st. That's really not part of the paperwork. That's not how it works. So it's just, they got to be up on the roof. GoodLeap loans will still include that 30% pay down, but they're probably sunsetting that again as the ITC goes away. It's not going to be, they're just going to be reworking how that pay down function works. So thought you should know.
That's right.
Okay. Oh, and now it's time for JB. We got our roofing reveal. So I took a little snapshot of what it looks like here, but JB, I don't know if you got everything pulled up and you want to do.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Let's do it, buddy.
So real quick, just for those that may have missed, rolled out a week ago, roof.joinesp.com, and it is our cutting edge AI infused roof quote tool and proposal platform. So roof.joinesp.com takes you to this page. There are a couple things that I've noticed. I've done quite a few trainings with sales partners over the last week and taken some. Thank you, Fabio. Personal training is awesome. Yes, I use me and my team as a resource to give you guys every advantage possible to help you close more deals. I want to get in front of as many of you guys as possible, not only train a little bit in how to use this tool in other scenarios and tricks on how to use it to your advantage, but there's so much more. My training vault is very deep, and I will give you a little teaser on that in just a bit. So real quick, I want to just give you a quick rundown on this again. So some of the feedback we got, this analyze roof button is amazing. It is not a one size fits all application, right? So really important to understand, just like all things in sales, there is not one tool you can use that will apply to absolutely every scenario and solve all your problems. This button, it will allow you to measure a roof instantly, blink of an eye. And that's great. It'll give you a square footage. It'll calculate the waste factor. So it'll show you the total square count. All of that's amazing. However, the way that the AI works, it looks at what it thinks is roof surface. It finds a predominant pitch, applies that pitch to everything, and that's how it gets the numbers. It is not as thorough as a roof measurement report would be. It is not as thorough as when you draw the roof over here. So if you have a simple roof, like all pitched or all flat, something like that, no miscellaneous pergolas, porches, detached structures, there's not a gazebo in the backyard, other things that could confuse the AI tool into thinking that's the roof, right? Brandon was talking to me the other day and he said, hey, I'm measuring this house and Analyze tool is showing me, 38 squares. And when I go and draw it, it's showing me 30 squares. Why is there a discrepancy? Well, it turns out there's a big fat flat patio on a pitch tile roof and there was a detached canopy or something in the backyard that the AI was confusing as the roof. So this button, you click it, you instantly get, the roof square footage. It'll apply the roof pitch to it and it'll give you the total square count with waste. And then it allows you to pick one roof type. So again, if it's all one roof type, it's all similar pitch, there's no additions or patios or detached structures or any of that. This should be accurate and it's fantastic and it allows you to go from A to B really quick. Bada bing, we got a roof quote. Okay. However,
Wait, hang on. Can we just pause?
I said last time, I blinked. I was looking away. What'd you do?
You literally clicked, said bada boom, bada bing, and even before you said bing, this had already populated.
Well, and I can send the contract right here at the bottom of the page. So we're trying to get rid of every possible hurdle or delay. Time kills all deals and speed to close helps you win. So we're trying to create something to where, honestly, if I'm a rep and I'm out there door knocking, I would use that analyze roof tool in between doors. Because you could type in the address, analyze roof. I could show up to the door with roof quote in hand, ready to discuss already.
Yeah.
And that gives you a huge advantage. It's a tech advantage. You're like, how do you have that? Well, let me show you. Type, analyze roof. Here you go. And when you're able to, you want to refine it and draw the roof and get a little bit more granular. And let me show you why that's in your interest to do. So this, again, it applied comp shingle to everything, 23 roof squares. If I go back and I redo this, same address, and I draw the roof, this is a flat roof in the back and a pitched roof up front. So if I want to be as aggressive as possible, I come in here and I draw the outline on the comp shingle roof.
And guys, we are recording this. You guys can go back to our webinar in this training to figure out how to get that calculation going. Okay.
And by the way, I've had some people say like, oh, the points are too close. I can't get in there and draw another point. Make the point wherever. You can click out here and then you can drag the point back to where it needs to be. Right. So you go in here and you draw it, you select the roof type, you select the roof pitch. If you don't know the roof pitch, you click on the measure tool and it'll take you to straight view. You measure from the ridge to the eave, apply their pitch to the roof plane. Boom. Calculated. So once you save that roof plane, now I can start drawing another roof plane and I can draw the flat roof. Right.
One of the comments says it looks blurry. For me, I think it's just a Google satellite image that's quasi making it because it's clear on my side, but
yeah, but honestly, this is clearer than most aerial images are going to be. But again, it's your familiarity and interpretation overhead views. Right? The more you use this tool, the more familiar you get with what you're seeing. And there are going to be some areas that are rural. It will have like a blurry satellite image, not a perfect solution for 100% of the circumstances, but we can get 90%.
Yeah.
We're doing our best to try to get as close to perfection as possible. I doubt we'll ever actually touch perfection. So for a flat roof, there is no 0-12 pitch, because flat, perfectly flat doesn't ever exist. So for flat roofs, you're going to take it down to 0.512 pitch, right? Save that roof plane. Now we have it saved. I put in, so we've measured shingle, we've measured flat. I continue to roof quote, put in the name, phone number, email, and you have your roof quote. And now it is calculating 21 squares. And one of the things I've noticed people ask me, like, hey, it shows 5 squares and it shows 17 squares. I'm not a mathematician. That sounds like 22 squares to me. What it's showing is that this flat roof section rounds up to 5 squares. This section rounds up to 17 squares. But if you combine the square footage of the two, it would be 21 squares, like cumulative. So like if you see that here and you're like, hey, 5 squares and 17 squares, why does it show 21 squares? It's because they're rounding up separately, because this is charged as flat roof. This is charged as comp shingle roof. This sometimes it does the math collectively. So if there's ever a difference there, that's why. It's just it rounds up together different than separate. So anyway, so we have this. It's in your best interest to draw it out, because it almost always comes out a little more aggressive, especially if there's multiple roof pitches, right? And then again, we have the preferred protection here. This is that extended warranty with Owens Corning, which if you guys don't know how to sell that, request time with me. I can get you the flyer for that. I can explain how to really build a tremendous amount of value in that. And on this roof, it's $420, right? You can be aggressive and take it off. And you say $420, but we're talking about a bumper to bumper warranty for 50 years on the whole roofing system. And then Owens Corning backing our workmanship for 10 years. That's huge. And there's a huge, tremendous value in learning how to pitch that and add that to your conversation with the homeowner. So then lastly, you go down here and at the very bottom, you send contract for signature. You put in the homeowner name, phone number, email, you click solar financing. You're selling this together with a solar deal, right? So it's financed on the solar. You put in the rep name, HIS, the rep email, and you read this disclosure, check the box, create contract, and then it sends it out to your email. When you go to your email, you're going to get, the homeowner will get this email, Energy Service Partners Roofing Agreement Signature requested by ESP. They click review and sign. It takes you to the document, just like when you're sending any other HIA. Does the same email for the rep, right? And then when you open that agreement and you take it to go sign it, it brings up the roof HIA, right? So the roof contract, the reason this is huge, this is a little bit of a change in process. Up until recently, I don't know what we're running right now, but it's somewhere in the 90s percentages as far as what's like the percentage that we're doing for TPO deals. So like the vast majority of our deals right now are third-party owned systems, leases, PPAs. Absolutely nowhere in those agreements, which is the only contract the homeowner's been signing up until recently. Absolutely nowhere is there anything that says they're getting roof work done. So there's zero that the homeowner has that protects them and shows them this is the scope of work for the roof that's being done. This is the cost of the roof work. This is the warranty for the roof work. And not only is that against the law, it is not good for the homeowner. They don't have that on their side to give them peace of mind of what they're getting, what they're paying for, the value that you're providing to them as part of the deal. So this gives them now all of that. It gives them a roof contract. It shows them the scope of work, the cost of the roof work, and it shows them here, you're financing this together with the solar, right? It's a third party financing. So they're not paying the contractor directly. They are paying for this with their third party solar. And then it also has all of the warranty information and things like that. So now there's an actual contract for the work we're doing that protects ESP. It protects the homeowner. It gives everyone peace of mind. So you go, you send that out, and in this tool here, you have the ability to resend it if for whatever reason they're not seeing it to the rep or to the homeowner. You can refresh the status and see signing status. And once those are both signed, it automatically hits to our operations team, and we have that. Now you can sign the solar, right? So when you make the roof quote, not just to get the amount, you want to send that contract out, get that signed, and then you go and sign the solar deal. So what I would do if I were a rep, send the solar contract, and then have them sign them both back to back of the same, and just point out in the agreement, this is being financed together with your solar deal, right? Huge point to me, because that's going to not just lower their anxiety, but now they have this to protect them. We are now infinitely more legit than anyone else they're going to talk to that's going to present roofing and solar together. What's your honest opinion of putting a second layer of comp? Obviously cheaper. Okay, great question. I love that. And please schedule some time with me. I can go into more detail on this, but the short answer, no manufacturer out there will honor the warranty when you do a comp shingle overlay. So when you install, there's already one layer of comp shingles. You want to save money by not tearing off by doing an overlay. So you install a second layer of front shingle. It makes it heavier. It barely meets the maximum threshold for weight when you have 2 layers of comp shingle and solar. Like, you're absolutely at the max allowable weight limit for like a residential roof. It's allowed because building and safety will allow it because of the weight. It does not carry a warranty with the manufacturer. So when you do that, there's no spec anywhere for a roof to be installed over a roof. Voids all manufacturer warranties. It does not have the same life expectancy. The nails aren't biting into the wood like they should. So those roofs blow off in the wind. If you ever see high winds, you drive around the neighborhood and look at shingles that have blown off. Almost always you'll see a layer of shingles underneath where the missing shingles are. And that's because overlay roofs they're not the same as a brand new roof. Think of it like if you're buying tires, that's the retread of the roofing industry. Like, it's a cheaper tire. It'll get you from A to B, but it's not advisable.
What
What
did you call it? What did you call it, JB? You called it roof archaeology, when you go around and you see patches missing. You're like, oh, that's from 20 years ago. Ooh, the layer even underneath is from 30 or 40 years ago, whatever.
What people don't realize is how heavy this stuff is. Right? Every 10 by 10 section of a comp shingle roof is 225 pounds. Okay.
If you're at a home, go and pick up one of those comp shingle layout, on your shoulders. You'll get a good idea.
Yeah, everything in roofing is like 100 pounds. He'll pick up a bundle of shingles, it's almost 100 pounds. Pick up a roll of torch down, it's like 100 pounds. And so, like, we had a job last week in Bakersfield, and we're tearing off the job. There were 6 layers of comp shingles on that roof. When we tore off the roof, the rafters were bowed in like this. And I had to explain to this homeowner, I'm like, you know how lucky you are you took all that weight off your roof? Their home was like 1,000 square feet. It was a very small home. And we calculated the weight, and they basically had the equivalent of 3 Cadillac Escalades parked on top of their roofs. And so I'm just like, I don't know if you realize it, but every time you drive home, there's 3 Escalades up there. The whole night while you're asleep, they're just up there hanging, waiting to collapse in on you. Like, it is way, way too heavy. The fact that we took all that weight off and just had 1 layer of shingles, I mean, it's a tremendous relief on that structure, and it's super dangerous when you add more than what's supposed to be up there weight-wise. Just redoing paper and a tile roof, great question. So when you are here, that is on the roof type. So that's called a tile lift and relay. So let's go back. We analyze the roof, we select the roof type. So under tile, the first one, tile lift and relay, that's going to be the standard re-roof option for most tile roofs. They reuse the existing tile, and obviously they change out whatever's broken or missing, right? So if there's a couple broken tiles or tiles break during the process, they bring replacement tiles and swap those out. But yeah, they replace all the underlayment and flashings and then reinstall the tile roof. So it's like a new roof, just reusing the existing tile. That's the most cost-efficient way. Comp out, this is for lightweight or clay tile full replacement. That's brand new tile, right?
And different colors. Like, somebody has, I see this where the tiles have a lot of like mold, or like, not even just mold. Sorry, JV.
Moss.
Yeah, a lot of moss. Yeah, on there. And instead of just power spraying it off or whatever, they'd rather just change the color altogether, get new tiles. Yeah. We have that option.
Yeah, sometimes that'll happen. And it's cool. Like, so we're not 100% on all tile types yet, but what we're working in there is, we soon will be, they have tile information in the brochures, so you can view the tile colors and the product information. It'll take you to the Eagle Roofing website. You can browse their tiles. So we're constantly working on more and more. Oh, this is the dev version. That's why it's the. Let me show you the real. Anyway, so we're constantly iterating and adding more there. So on your side of things, you're going to see quite a bit of continual change happen as we continue to iterate and add more and more color options. So you can see all the colors. You can go to the gallery view and you can, select the color right there before you send the agreement. So
one of our value partners, he's asking, hey, look, there's homeowner contact details that are required. What's your suggestion to either bypass them, or do you think just put in a fake email? Like, is it automatic?
Oh, well,
Yeah.
when you're generating the quote, like official answer, it's always important to put accurate information. The
But-
sales rep in me, who also understands I need to generate a roof quote like in the blink of an eye, because now I can do that. Great. Do whatever the hell you want to get a quote. But then when you send the contract, right? When I go down here and I send the contract, this is where it matters. Absolutely put in the absolute gospel truth right here.
Yeah, that's what I replied with. It's not going to automatically send anything to the customer. We don't use that for anything until you hit the button that says ready to sign. And then you're going to send that.
Yes. It will send this proposal, this link. When you send the contract, they also get a copy of the proposal, right? So they're going to get two emails. One that says, here's your roof proposal. And then another immediately after that says, click, open the contract and sign here, right? So you will get an email like that whenever you send out a contract. But it also it gives you process that you kind of want as a homeowner and as a rep, where there's a record on both sides of exactly what was proposed, everything they saw, and everything they signed. Now both parties have copies of everything. You know what? Someone just mentioned that they did a partial. I haven't showed that, but when you do the draw, you can draw a partial roof. Just make sure it's the full roof plane, right? So if I'm not analyzed, muscle memory, when you create a roof quote and you're going to draw the roof, you can draw a full roof plane. So let's say the same address again. You guys are probably sick of seeing this house. But let's say I'm going to do just this west-facing roof plane. And I want to do comp shingle roof quotes for that. Boom. There, I know this is 312. Boom, boom. Got my roof quote. So, and you want to take off preferred protection on partial roofs because it only works on full roofs. So you can create partial roof quotes. You can create full roof quotes, customize it however you want. That draw tool, that should be your go-to. Analyze roof tool is shooting from the hip, super quick. When you have a gun to your head, you need to make a roof quote. Great, use it. But whenever you can and you have a little time, draw it out. It's usually going to be a little bit more aggressively measured because you're putting everything in section by section. So roof training, I know we put in the link there to schedule training with me. We have access because we're a preferred contractor with Owens Corning. We have access to Owens Corning University, which is more training than you're ever going to want or need. And that is absolutely free. However, I need you guys to schedule a training with me so I can walk you through how to use it. And I have to create a login credentials for you guys and then assign you training. So I have a little teaser here. There is Adam Benson. I consider him, he's a roof trainer, right? He trains people all over the country on how to sell roofs. And it's very comprehensive training. A little cool tool here. He has an AI clone where you can actually text, call, or do a video chat with his AI clone. Very trippy, but actually awesome. And he answer questions. So you have a one-on-one roof sales coach at your disposal 24/7. Go to askadambensman.com. I'm going to put that in the chat here. And there's also a YouTube page. I will put that in the chat here. If you guys have a lot of drive time, or if you're like a podcast type listener on a regular, play some of these while you're on the treadmill, listen to it on your commute as you're driving around. This guy, he has hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of videos, all specifically around selling roofs. Everything from pitch at the door, how to overcome objections, how to sell with insurance, how to pivot and add solar to a roof sale, things like that. And so one thing I will mention, leading with roofing is becoming increasingly valuable as the solar industry is changing, as some markets are getting oversaturated with people that have already been knocked and talked to about solar. If they got an ugly roof, run at those homes, because that is now a need and is something they're going to be receptive to. And now you have all the tools at your disposal on how to an absolute beast at the door and get in that door and talk to them about a roof, and then soft close on the roof. And then there's expert training specifically on how to set the hook, get permission to pitch, pivot, and add solar and introduce that information gradually enough to where you don't scare them off. So I had,
if anybody was wondering what our secret sales hack was that I teased in the text the other day, this is it. Lead with roofing, because the pull-through rate, the making it sticky, is gonna increase your effectiveness
Realization rate.
10x, like
Yep.
crazy. Yeah.
yeah, so pull through industry wide for solar is hovering around 50%. ESP is doing a little better than that. We fixed some of the problems, but not all of them. Pull through with roof and solar deals over 90%. I mean, you want to basically just make twice as much installed. So that's like 4 times as much, right? You want to completely change your business and have a multiple on what you're making with the same motion, the same efforts. Start learning how to start with roofing. The pivot and add solar makes a huge difference.
Somebody asked the magic
Yeah,
question.
James, great question. So roof only sale coming very soon. Commission on the roof. We actually, again, that's other feedback that was heard. And why the hell not? Like, we wanted to be as aggressively priced on roofing as possible. So we've worked in what I feel is by far the best for anything of this caliber, best pricing out there. You can always go to Home Depot and find someone that has a truck and a nail gun, and they might give you a better price, but nobody is going to compare to the value in pricing that we have currently. That is phenomenal with our recent pricing reductions. However, if you want to be able to mark up the roof and add a commission, you've asked for it. We've heard you. We're going to allow a 10% commission on the roofs, which would increase the price by 10%. To be able to do that, we're going to launch that in about a week. And you'll need to schedule time with me so that I can create an affiliate account for you. And you can then set your commission percentage. Again, the max is going to be 10%. We want to still be competitive industry wise on the pricing. But you can make some, you sell a, $20,000 roof, you're making an extra $2,000. And so that would just give, that's not standalone roof sales yet. That's for roof quotes. When you're adding it to solar, standalone roof sales are coming imminently, very soon. We just have a couple more things to tweak on the back end. So again, in about a week, we're live with commissions on roofs tied to solar. Get access to that. You just have to schedule a training with me, ask for it on the training, and I can make an affiliate for you and get you set.
So what we're saying here is use the link that I put in the chat and that will be in the recap email to schedule some time with JB.
Absolutely.
So real quick, I have a 3-minute segment. Some of you guys that have done training with me already this past week, you know what I'm about to show you. You know how valuable this is. So just the teaser. There's so much more, but that is the type of content and the quality of what we're talking about. We have all this at our disposal. I can assign it for free. Just ask for it. Set up a meeting with me. I'll custom tailor a curriculum for what you and your team needs. Let's get after it, guys. Let's get every goddamn roof and solar system possible. Like, this is a huge bonus and like a way to shift and pivot the business at a time that we really need it and we really want it. So let's freaking get it. Last thing I will say, completely unsolicited but added little bonus. Whoever wants an extra $500 in commission, use this process. The first 5 guys to sell a roof together with solar and get their roof HIA contract signed with this new quote tool, the process I just showed you. What we're going to do is we're going to go into the back office and we're going to change the roof quote and take $500 off. So you're going to get an extra $500 in commission. So whoever wants an extra $500, do it this way. Get the contract signed. The first 5, you guys will get an extra $500. Look.
You heard it here first, folks.
I love
You
it.
have to be out of your mind not to take this off of Willie Wednesday.
What, JB, would you be interested to hear more about that?
Would you be interested?
Yeah, if
Told
I
you could make it.
well, you got it. It's in the inflection, right? So you're not sure. You're like, hey, if I could get that monthly payment lower, would you be interested? If I had a way, there's another way. I heard him say in the trainings where he's like, you know what? There's some other clients of mine. They're pretty crafty. They had a way to get that monthly payment even lower. Would you be interested in that? Where you use like someone else, you call them smart, you call them crafty, and that's like, well, shit, I'm smart, I'm crafty. I mean, there's a lot of gold nuggets that this guy does, and he is, again, hands down the best in the industry. You will see him solicit all the time for his like paper seat, like sales training, but there's a ton of free content stuff that we have through OCU, YouTube videos. They take advantage of everything that's there, and then if and when you need more, we'll talk about it.
Yeah,
Pretty
he's
sure-
your Tony Robbins of roofing for sure. But like,
Absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah.
all of the stuff that he's talking about, the outcome based selling, like planting those seeds and everything, building those like micro commitments and everything. It's so good. It's so good.
I'm pretty sure that's how I landed my now wife. I met her and
It's just gonna sound crazy, but what if you and I?
oh man. Well, guys, this was excellent. I hope everyone on this webinar loved what we had to offer. A lot of insight. JB, thanks for joining us, man. That means a lot to us.
Yeah, and also I'll tease this. I know we showed you a lot, and these are some juicy nuggets that we've already released. There's even better stuff coming, like we talked about. Just give us time as we're putting down these paving stones, man. It's an exciting time.
All right. Well, until next time, schedule those meetings with JB. Enjoy the weekend. See you guys.
See y'all, everybody.